Welcome to Dimensional Analysis Worksheet number 2. We're going to go through a few of the problems that will hopefully help you get started. So I'm going to start with problem B, where we're trying to convert 25 miles per 1 gallon and figure out how many miles per liter that same amount would be. So what I'm trying to do, I don't need to change miles because miles are the same on the left side and on the right side. You can see right there it's miles, and right there it's miles. What I do want to do is figure out how to get from gallons to liters. So I look up at the top, and is there anything up here that can help me go from gallons to liters? Sure. But if I put in 3.78 liters per gallon, I'm not going to be able to cross out this gallon and that gallon because they're right beside each other. I need this gallon to be on top and this liters to be on the bottom. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my liters per gallon and I'm just going to flip it right upside down. So 1 gallon per 3.78 liters. Now I can cross out this gallon and this gallon, and what I'm left with is 25 times 1 is 25 miles divided by 1 times 3.78 is just 3.78 liters. And if I plug that into my calculator, I get about 6.6 miles per liter. The next one I'm going to do is D. Once again, I don't need to change the feet because they're the same, but I do need to go from minutes to seconds. I don't need to look that one up because I know that there are 60 seconds in every minute. Once again, I need the minutes on the top of my conversion so that I can cross it out later. So if I put 1 minute on top and 60 seconds on the bottom, I can cross out the minutes and I end up with 900 times 1 is 900 divided by 1 times 60 is 60. If I plug that into my calculator, I get 15 feet per second. The last one of the single conversions is F. Once again, I don't have to worry about black ants because it's the same on the top on each side. I do need to convert the inches into centimeters, and I'm going to need inches on the top of my conversion ratio and centimeters on the bottom so that I can cross out my inches later. Well, I know that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters because it says so at the top of the page. If I take 7 times 1, I get 7. And if I take 1 times 2.54, I get 2.54. If I plug that into my calculator, I get about 2.76 black ants per centimeter. The next one I want to try is G. This time I have to go from yards to feet and from minutes to seconds. That's why they leave me 2 spaces here and here for my conversion ratios. The first one is yards to feet, and I'm going to need yards on the bottom and feet on the top so that I can cross out my yards here and my yards here. Well, I know that there are 3 feet in every yard. Similarly, I had minutes on the bottom, but I want to go to seconds, so I'm going to have minutes on the top to cross it out, and I'm going to have seconds on the bottom. And I know that there are 60 seconds in every minute. So if I multiply all the tops together, I get 40 times 3 times 1, 120. On the bottom, I get 1 times 60 is 60. So if I push that into my calculator, the answer is 2 feet per second. The last one on this side I'm going to do is I. And this time I'm going from meters to kilometers on the top and minutes to hours on the bottom. I know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, and meters needs to be on the bottom here because it's on the top here. I know that 60 minutes makes 1 hour, and minutes need to be on the top here, so I can cross it off with the minutes down there. And then once again, all I need to do is multiply, 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 and then divide. On the top, I have 240 times 1 times 60, and if I punch that into my calculator, I get 14,400. And on the bottom, I have 1 times 1,000 times 1, which is just 1,000. So my answer is 14.4 kilometers per hour. On the back side of the worksheet, I'll start with letter C. This one they try to trick you a little bit by saying 3 cups of coffee and 22 ounces of coffee. So let's just get rid of the coffee part because we don't really care about that. What we really care about is that we're going from cups to ounces. On the bottom, we're going from dollars to dollars, so we don't even need to change that. So let's look up at the top somewhere here and see if we can find something that will help us go from cups to ounces. So what this back side of the worksheet is trying to do is just ask you which is bigger, the left side or the right side. And in order to do that, we're going to either have to convert the left side into ounces per dollar or convert the right side into cups per dollar. That way we can compare them and see which one is bigger. In this case, we'll just do the left side. So 3 cups for $1 times 8 ounces for 1 cup allows us to cross off the cups, and we're left with 3 times 8 is 24 ounces divided by 1 times 1 is $1. Well, 24 ounces for $1 is bigger than 22 ounces for $1, so we just put a greater sign then. When filling out this worksheet, make sure that you show me your work, because if you just put the greater sign or less than sign, I won't know whether you really understand the material. Example E is a good real-life example because in the US we use miles per gallon, but everywhere else in the world they use kilometers and liters. So let's figure out which one of these is bigger. Well, if I look up at the top of the screen, I can see that 1 kilometer equals 0.62 miles. So if I multiply my 27 miles per gallon by that conversion ratio, the miles cancel out and I get 27 kilometers for 0.62 gallons. But I need to convert that gallons to liters, so I got to look up at the top of the sheet again, where it shows me that there is 1 gallon in every 3.78 liters. So my last multiplication here is going to be 27 times 1, 27, 0.62 times 3.78 is about 2.34, and if I plug that into my calculator, I get about 11.5 kilometers per liter. Well, 11.5 is a lot less than 20, so I can just put in a less than sign. The last two questions are just word problems that you solve the same way. You need to pick one of the rates and convert it to the units from the other one. So if I have 10 miles for every 1 hour from Jack, and Jill is riding at feet per minute, I need to convert the 10 miles per hour into feet per minute. Well, I know that there are 5,280 feet in every mile, and I know that 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes. So if I multiply 10 by 5280 by 1, I get 52,800 on the top, and 1 times 60 on the bottom. I plug that into my calculator, and I get 880 feet per minute. I can check to make sure that I get the right units by crossing things off. Miles on the top, miles on the bottom. Hours on the top, hours on the bottom. So I'm left with feet per minute. And 880 is faster than 600. So Jack is the faster rider. Hopefully this gets you started on worksheet number 2.